Welcome to today's episode of the Get Money Show, everybody. Hello to everyone here on YouTube. Hello to everyone here on Facebook not Facebook, Instagram as well. I am just going to wait for some of you guys to get into the room and then we're going to go ahead and get started. If you are watching from anywhere in the world, do me a favor and go ahead and let me know where you're dialing in from. I am going to shout you out, and it's one of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the show. Every Wednesday, I come on here and I do a different live masterclass with you to teach you about your money. All right. So if you see me looking over here, that means I'm looking at Instagram. What's up, Instagram? Let me know where you are watching from. And if you see me looking over here, that means I am looking over here at the YouTube family. If you're on YouTube, what's going on, YouTubers? By the way, if you are here on Instagram and you want to be where the real party is happening, you want to come on over to YouTube. So over on YouTube, it's where I have the opportunity to post links that you can actually click on. I have the opportunity to put your comment or your question on screen and answer it directly. I don't have those options on Instagram. So if you want to be over here where everything is actually happening and there's way more people over here, then you're going to want to come over here to the YouTube channel. What's up, Beverly? Hey, Jana. Jana is in Ohio. Hey, Jana. Thanks for joining us today. Is it Jana or Jana? I might be saying it wrong. I may want to make sure I say your name right, girl. Like when nobody say my name wrong. Speaking of which, completely off topic, I met this gentleman the other day, right? And I had written my name down for some reason somewhere. And he was like, now my name it's 4 letters, Gwen. Okay, 4 letters. I think it's pretty simple, right? Phonics, you can sound it out, right? It's not an unheard of name. He goes, is it Gwoon? Gwan? He was not foreign. He was not from another country. He was from Detroit. And I was like, what? And he's like, is it Gwan? How do you say your name? And I was like, Gwen? And he goes, oh, like stunned. And I'm like, what? So he goes, I'm like, you've never heard of a Gwen before? And he's like, I just thought it was spelled differently. I thought it was spelled like I think he said like Gheyn is what he said. And I was like, immediately turned off. You can't read, sir. Anyway, so I was so done with him. But thank you for joining. I know, right? LaShawn is from Clarksville, Tennessee. What's going on, LaShawn? Hey, from Oakland, California, Karen. Speaking of Oakland, California, I'm actually going to see the Tony show pretty soon. I know they're from Oakland, and I just love Tony. If you haven't seen them since they've gotten back together with the actual members, not just like some random people, you got to make sure that you go see them. So what's up, Karen in Oakland, Oaktown? Beverly's in West Virginia. Lydia is here from Texas. Hey, girl. Hey. What's up, Yosetta? How are you today? How are you? I know, Jasmine, ain't that nuts? Joyce is from Novi. Joyce, you down the street. I saw somebody on Instagram. Where they from? They are from, I missed it, New Jersey. Doreen. Hey, Doreen from New Jersey. What's going on? Warner Robins, California says, who is that? Oh, that was Yosetta that said that. Okay. Paula is calling in from Inglewood. Always up to no good. Got my Tupac reference. The D. Jesse is in Detroit. Yes, Karen, you called an actual live. I'm so excited to see you here. What's going on, Karen? She said, I called an actual live. I've been on a Gwen spree the last few days. I'm in Alabama. Well, I'm so grateful that you have been watching my videos, and I'm guessing, since you've been watching them, that they are helpful to you and beneficial to your life and also to your money. So thank you so much for watching. I love them too, Karen. I love Tony. They are the best. Arkansas is AR. So Alaska, right? Do I got that right? Jasmine, y'all don't judge me for my geography. But Eagle River, I believe that's Alaska. I think AK is Alaska, y'all. Don't clown me if I got that wrong. Carlin is from New Jersey. What's up, New Jersey in the house? Karen, you're from New Jersey. Don't get it twisted. I got you. Chandra is from Oakland. Let's see. Okay, Jasmine, Alaska. Thank you. I I feel like that's a 7th grade or like a 5th grade kind of like thing that I should know. Like AK should be Alaska, and I thought it was, but then I was like, maybe it's Arkansas. But anyway, shalom, Karen. Thank you. We got a lot of Karens. I think I saw 3 Karens today. All right. So you guys, there's another Karen from Chi-Town. Hey, Karen from Chi-Town. I'm sorry if you hear my cat in the background. For some reason, she is having a whole fit, meowing for some reason. I think my son went outside, so she probably wants him. Anyway, Karen says, you've been very beneficial. I'm so glad you or God led me to you. I am glad that the Lord led you. Don't limit God, right? I'm so glad that he led you to me as well. All right, you guys. Camille is from Florida. Welcome, Camille. Welcome, Camille. All right. So today, you guys, we're going to be talking about more money topics. And by the way, if you are watching this and you are not yet a subscriber of the Get Money Show, I need you to go ahead and click the subscribe button, right? We are gunning for 2,000 members, through the 2,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 1650 something, right? So let's get those numbers up. And I'm so grateful for everybody who has already subscribed. Click that button so we can hit that 2,000 mark. All right. I appreciate all of you. If you have not yet subscribed, if you already subscribed, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you have not yet subscribed, what you doing? Click the subscribe button. And let's continue. Let's get married. Let's make this official. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Sandra. Did I say Oakland? I'm sorry. I meant Orlando. I was probably moving too fast. And you see how disrespectful my cat is. She just gonna get into the camera. She see me on video and everything, but she's just like disrespectful. Anyway, ignore her. All right, so we're going to talk about your money today. Like this video as well. Every time you press the like button, it actually tells the algorithm 2 things. It tells you, 1, that you like this kind of content, so you will continue to receive this kind of content in your notifications, right? Because the algorithm, what your actions will tell the algorithm what to do, right? So make sure that you click that for your own benefit. And 2, it also lets other people like you know that this is the kind of content that they should be watching. Okay, so make sure that you click that for me. Make sure you share this, because sharing is caring. Okay, today we're going to talk about what to do with your money after you've saved $1,000, and we're going to talk about what to do even if you haven't yet saved $1,000. Okay, and then lastly, most of you know that I am hosting the 5-day Fix My Money Challenge coming up. It is September 9th through 12th. All right. If you have not yet registered for the wait list, you are going to want to do that. There are over 300 people already on that wait list, and I haven't even made it live to register yet. You see this? Disrespectful. Anyway, I haven't even made it live to register yet. Let me actually move her out the way. Give me a second, y'all. Come here. Come here. Oh, now you want to hide. Okay. She done ran under the table. Okay, she left. Hold on. Let me close it. Okay. All right. Make sure that you click that button to get on the wait list. Okay. The wait list has over 300 people already on it. I will not even make it live until probably next week sometime. But the thing is, those who are on the wait list will get first dibs on being able to register. I can only help so many people. We're going to talk a little bit about what the challenge will entail later on in this live. But if you have not yet registered, you're going to want to make sure that you do that, because it's a personalized experience, right? This is not like a textbook. This is what you should do with your money. This is hey, this is what Jennifer needs to do. This is what Caroline needs to do. Vicky, Karen, Drea, so forth and so on, right? Sandra. This is what you need to do with your money specifically. So with that said, you can imagine I can't possibly talk to, 400 or 500 people at one time. Okay. So there's only so many people I'm going to be able to help. Make sure you put your name on the wait list. Wait listers will get the first dibs on signing up for the challenge, and then it'll get open to everybody else until we hit capacity. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. First of all, this is an interactive class. Okay. Do you already have an emergency savings account? If you have an emergency savings account, say yes in the comments. If you have an emergency savings account already, say yes in the comments, or an account that you would consider to be used for emergencies. Let me know. Sandra asked how much the challenge is going to be. The challenge is going to only be $64. It's only $64. That's like less than $20 a day. Like it's a super steal, and it's 5 days of live instruction with me. Okay. All right. Good question. Okay. Okay, Drea says yes, but not fully funded. Caroline has one. Desi has one. Victoria, awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, if you do not have an emergency savings account, let me know in the comments. Say no if you do not have an emergency savings account. I know, Sandra. I know. I appreciate that. She said, girl, you worth more than that. I know, girl. But my goal is to get as many people into the challenge as possible to help as many folks as I can. Right. And so I understand that with the challenge, with me having this challenge, we have a lot of people who are starting from almost nothing. Right. So I could easily charge, $300, $400, $500 for the challenge, but that's cost prohibitive for a lot of people. So I want to make it as cost effective and as many people to be able to get into it as possible within reason for me to be able to help them. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, like, if you're not on the wait list, you're going to want to make sure you get on the wait list, because at that price, those spaces are going to fly. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Sandra. She said you're a blessing from God. I appreciate that. Janelle, my girl. Janelle is doing it, y'all. I got to tell you about Janelle. Janelle says she is here for today's nugget. She just got my text to hop on. Yes, Janelle is like the poster child right now for debt payoff, right? We're going to talk about you in a minute, Janelle. Okay, so I see a number of no's, and I also see a number of people who have emergency savings funds, but they're not fully funded. Okay, so if you have an emergency, and first of all, I'm so proud of all of you who are saying that you don't have one, because here's the thing. Most people don't have one. Okay, so you're in the majority. So there's that. So don't feel bad or anything like that. The second thing is that most people will not even, they don't even want to deal with their money. They just check out. So the fact that you're even here is a huge deal, right? The fact that you're here is a huge deal, but the fact that you're able to admit, hey, I don't have one, but knowing is the first step, right? So now we can talk about what to do in order to be able to save in emergency savings. Okay. All right. LaShawn says she has one. It's in a high yield savings account. Perfect. I see a lot of no. So yes, $64. Yes, Karen, it's a super bargain. It's a super bargain. You can't beat it with a stick, as my mama would say. Let's see what else. Okay, so I see Erica, Yolanda, Jasmine, Jewel, Paula, Jennifer, all you guys don't have emergency savings account. Okay, cool. Let's talk about what to do if you don't have one. Okay, because it's important that you have something. It may not be fully funded, okay? Because as you know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I always say that your emergency savings account should have 3 at minimum to 6, ideally, months, or even 12 months, even better, but right around 3 to 6 months of your living expenses saved in this emergency savings account. Now, you can't possibly save 3 to 6 months or even 1 month if you don't even know how much you're actually spending per month. So part of the Fix My Money challenge, we will go through and we will figure out what your specific living expenses are, so that you can have a goal to say, okay, this is how much I need to be working to save. Okay. But most people don't know that because they're not even aware of how much they're even spending in a month. They're probably spending way more than they even assume that they're spending. Okay. So you have to figure that out. But the first thing is to save $1,000. And the reason you want to save $1,000 first before you do anything else is because emergencies are emergencies. Life happens unexpectedly, right? We don't know when something's going to happen. We need to have some kind of at least small cushion to protect us in the event that something occurs. We don't want to have to go into debt for an emergency. We don't want to have to have to rob Peter to pay Paul or borrow from somebody or none of that kind of stuff. We want to be self-sufficient, right? We want to have that FU money that we've been talking about. Where's Danny at? Danny always talking about her FU money, right? And so in order to be able to do that, we have to start somewhere. So if you don't have anything, right? If you have no savings account, your immediate goal is to save $1,000. $1,000 to start, okay? We will get to saving your money the 3 to 6 months later. Hey, Nicole, thanks for joining today. All right. But you got to start with $1,000. Now, how are you going to save $1,000? If you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, say in the comments, paycheck to paycheck. Or just say paycheck. Just say paycheck. Just one paycheck. Okay. If you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, say that right now. In order to not live paycheck to paycheck, you have to assess how much money you are already spending. Right. And I've talked about this but it's kind of hard to put it into place if you don't really know what to do. Okay. And there's no shame whatsoever if that is your situation. Because again, the vast majority of people, at least in America, are living paycheck to paycheck. But y'all gonna be different because y'all my rich friends. Okay. Y'all my rich friends. It's an affirmation, right? Even if you don't feel rich right now, y'all about to be rich. Okay. We're gonna make sure that you get rich. But you gotta start somewhere. Okay. There's a number of people who are saying paycheck. Karen or Drea gave me a paycheck with an exclamation point, honey. Okay. Can you guys save? Do you think that you could save $100 a month? Let me know if that's feasible for you. If you feel like you could save $100 a month, just type $100 in the comments. That's $25 a week on average, right? I mean, I realize there's some months that have 5 weeks, but most of them have 4, right? So if you feel like you could save $100 a month or $25 a week, let me know. Okay, I see lots of hundreds. Joyce, Jasmine, Yulene, Yosetta, Karen, Yolanda, Erica, Karen. I see lots of hundreds. Janelle. Okay, all you guys can save $100 a month, right? If you can save $100 a month, in 10 months, you will have your $1,000. Okay? If you can swing $50 a week, that's $200 a month, then you could get that done in 5 months. But it's not a race, right? It's a marathon. Okay. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So you know your current financial situation until you guys actually join the Fix My Money Challenge, right? And we're actually going to find you where you're not even realizing that you have an extra anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a month that you don't realize that you have, right? We're going to assess our debt or assess our money, figure things out, and find that money, right? But until then, we're going to save $100. Okay, Karen says that's doable. Perfect. Perfect, Karen. Okay, so Karen is somebody who said that she was living paycheck to paycheck. Okay. Karen says she's living paycheck to paycheck, but she could save $100 a month. Okay. So if we break things down to like the bare bones, it doesn't seem so heavy. But if you're like, man, I'm already living paycheck to paycheck, I can barely swing whatever, where am I gonna get this extra $1,000 from? It feels like a lot. But if you're like, oh, well, $100 a month over 10 months, that's less than a year. I got $1,000. That's actually not that bad, right? Again, if you can do 200, the faster you can get there, the better. But again, it's not a sprint. So if you can't do $200, then do 100. But if you can do 200, do 200 a month. Okay, that's $50 a week. It might feel easier to you to do $50 a week than $200 a month, even though it's the exact same amount, right? It just might feel easier because it's not so much at one time. Okay. All right. Perfect. So that's what you're going to do if you don't already have any kind of savings whatsoever. Now, for those of you who already have an emergency savings, but do not have it fully funded, that is okay. Okay. Because this live is specifically about what to do once you save $1,000. Okay. Now, how many of you have, let me back up a little bit before I even get there. Let me talk about why this emergency savings is so important. Okay. Because once you save your $1,000, I really want you to start working on your debt. Okay. But your emergency savings is important to have that, like, small amount of money, at least $1,000 at minimum in a savings account. Because if you guys are in the Get Money crew on Facebook, and if you're not, you need to join it. What are you doing? If you're not in the Get Money crew, I'm gonna post a link here for you guys to join it. I posted a video in the Get Money crew, which is the group on Facebook. And I told you guys a story about how I had to tap into my emergency savings just this weekend unexpectedly. Now, what's going to happen if you have no money saved whatsoever and you have a issue with your car and you suddenly get a new engine? That's like $1,000 plus, right? What happens if you were like me on, was it Saturday? I'm minding my business, doing my thing, and suddenly my laptop dies. I work on my laptop. Like, I can't afford to not have a laptop. This is crucial for me. So for my laptop to just completely die and not work, I took it to Best Buy. The guy was like, it's not your cord, it's actually your computer. I thought it was my cord. And I was thinking I was going to spend like $20-$30 on a new cord. I ended up having to spend over $1,100 on a new laptop. That wasn't in the cards for that day, right? We don't know when things are going to happen. And that is the whole point. Think about it like insurance almost, right? Like you don't go outside and driving your car expecting to get into a car accident to that day. But every single day there are car accidents. And the insurance is in place to be able to take care of the expenses that come from those unexpected accidents. So you need to have insurance for yourself, right? So for me, luckily, I had an emergency savings account. My immediate thought was, oh my God, I wasn't expecting to spend $1,100 or $1,200 today. What am I not going to do? But then panic immediately went away when I realized, oh, I got an emergency savings account. That's exactly what this is for, right? Because had I not had that laptop, had I not been able to buy a laptop, we would not be having this call today because I'm on my laptop right now, my new laptop, talking to you. I would not be able to do any work. I would not be able to send out any emails unless I was able to do it from my phone, right? I wouldn't be able to have meetings that need to be done on computer, like nothing, right? Because I would not have had emergency savings. Okay. So this is why you need to make sure you have at least that $1,000 in place. All right. But also, if you're in the green length of time here, I'm constantly talking about things like, hey, such and such stock is on sale. Last night, NVIDIA, which I've been raving about, is discounted. It's down to $108, right? So it's discounted. You can't even think about buying those stocks and building your 7-figure net worth and having your money work for you if you're bogged down with debt and you don't have any emergency savings. Okay. So we got to start with the $1,000. Everybody with me? If you're with me, say yes. If you're with me, say yes. I don't want anybody to be lost. So let me know if you're here with me. Okay. Y'all with me? Okay. Jasmine's with me. Joyce is with me. Jennifer's with me. Perfect. Yulene is with me. Awesome. Okay. All right. Now, so those of you who don't have an emergency savings, I told you what to do. Start to save $100 a week or $200. I'm sorry, $100 a month or $200 a month so that you have some kind of cushion in case something, at least small emergency happens. Okay. And by the way, your emergency savings account is not I want to buy this account. It's, hey, my computer completely died and I don't have one. Not, oh, I see this new MacBook that I think I want. That's not an emergency. An emergency is, hey, this is a crucial thing for my life and I no longer have it. Okay. With that said, I highly suggest that your emergency savings account is not at the same bank as your checking account. And that's just because of humanness, right? Like if you go into your checking account and you see however much money is in your checking account, and then you look over right below it and you see your savings account and you're like, oh, I actually I really want to buy such and such, or I want to go on this trip, or my kid needs such and such, but it's not an emergency. And I've got an extra $3,000 in there. I'll just take out 50. I'll just take out 45. I'll just take out 120. And little by little, you start taking out here, there, and everywhere. And next thing you know, your emergency savings has dwindled down. So to eliminate the humanness that we all have, I suggest that your emergency savings account is at a completely different bank, because you're not going to be logging into your emergency savings every day or every few days. You're going to be logging into your bank account pretty often, your checking account. So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, which is why for me, when my laptop died and I had to buy a new one, my first thought was like, oh, shoot, dang, I got to come up with whatever it was to pay for this laptop. That's because it's out of sight, out of mind. But then I remembered I have the emergency savings and I was good, right? But I can guarantee you, I'm just like you. If that emergency savings is at the same bank and I can see it all the time, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I really, really do like those new shoes, that t-shirt I saw on my Facebook ad or whatever. It's not going to cost us. It's only $20, right? So to eliminate that, have it at a different bank. Okay. Andrea says she has her emergency account is at Ally. Awesome. Yes, and D says good idea to put the savings in a high yield savings account. It will offset inflation for sure. See, look, Desi, so proud of you, Desi, for admitting it. She said, yes, I messed up this summer because of that. I pinched, and now I'm building. Right? That's exactly what happens. So kudos to you, Desi, for being brave enough to admit that is what you did, because it happens to all of us, right? And that's why I don't even have it. I don't even have it at the same bank. It's a totally different bank. My emergency savings is at my Genius account, which I highly suggest that all of you get. But whatever bank account you guys want, just move it out of that main account, because you'll pinch and pinch like me and Desi, like I would have and Desi did do, and you'll end up having to rebuild. Okay. All right. Now, if you have an emergency savings, or if you have some emergency savings, even if it's not fully funded, as long as it has $1,000 or more, this is what I want you to do next. I want you to start paying off your debt. I want you to start paying it off. I want you to get real brolic about it, as we would say from Cleveland. We would say brolic, right? That means like real gangster with it. I want you to get real. I want you to go after this thing like it's coming after your family, okay? Because it is, okay? I don't know if you've really ever taken the time to look at how much interest you're paying, especially on credit cards. I mean, credit card interest can go from low, like 10%, all the way up to like 30%. Crazy, right? It can go all the way up to like 30% interest. So for every $1,000 you have on that credit card, you're paying $300 in interest. Crazy. Insane, right? That's a lot of money. That's literally a third of everything that you spend is going toward interest. That doesn't come to you, okay? Now, I want you to start working on your debt. Now, shout out to Janelle, who has paid off. Janelle, how many cars is it? Is it 3? Is it 2 or 3 cars that you've paid off in like a week? All right. I want you to make sure that you attack your debt. This is your mission number 1. Okay. Let me see what D said. D said, make savings automated. Also slowly increasing the amount every time you get a raise. Don't spend your increase your savings investments after debt is dealt with. Yes, D. So actually, the week that we talked about high yield savings account, I actually suggested that you guys automate your savings. So she's completely right. Completely right. Automate your savings. That way you don't have to think about it. Okay. Those of you who are going to be saving $100 a week, or dang, I keep saying a week. Those of you who are going to be saving $100 a month, just automate it. Just go to your bank account and set it to do, $50 a week or $100 a month or whatever you want. And that way it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to remember to do it. It just happens. And next thing you know, you will have that emergency savings built up. Okay. All right. So we're going to attack this debt. Janelle has paid off 4 credit cards, you guys. Give it up for her in the comments. Give it up for her. She is not playing. Okay. She says she has 2 left to go and they're $2,000 total. Okay. That is amazing. Super congratulations to you, Janelle. Anybody who has ever paid off debt, I know you feel like a weight has been lifted off of your back. I know you do, because that's how I felt. Y'all, I paid off $147,000 in 8 months. And I ain't do nothing. I didn't travel anywhere. I didn't hang out much. I wasn't going to any cool restaurants. I was on it. Like, as much as I got to pay this stuff down. Right. So $147,000 in 8 months is crazy to think of, but I didn't even realize I had done it until I looked back and I was like, oh my goodness, look at how much I've paid off, because I keep track through my Get Money Budget Tracker. I keep track of how much money I'm spending, right, on this debt. And I can assess the debt and I can easily see how much it was versus how much I've paid on any given month. Okay. Yes, Jano, everybody giving you love in the comments for paying off your 4 credit cards. If you have any money wins, by the way, drop them in the comments and I'll shout you out. Okay. All right. So the way I want you to do this, the easiest way for you to pay off your debt is you are going to do what we will call the snowball method. There's a snowball method and there's an avalanche method. And I'll explain the 2 different ones. Okay. If you're doing the avalanche method, which is the one I don't suggest, the avalanche method, you're going to take the highest interest rate and then you're going to pay that down and then just kind of categorize your cards from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. And then you're going to pay them off based upon that from highest to lowest. The snowball method, on the other hand, accounts for the highest balance or the lowest balance first, right? So think of an avalanche. An avalanche is kind of starts out really large and it kind of like falls down and it kind of trickles down as it falls down, right? So avalanche means you're going to take the highest interest and you're going to trickle down to the lowest interest, right? All right. Whereas the snowball method, you're going to take the lowest snowball starts out small, right? And as it goes down the hill, the snowball gets larger, right? So you're going to start with your smallest amount, not interest, smallest amount of debt, and keep paying off until now you've gotten to the highest amount and you pay that off. The reason I suggest the snowball over the avalanche is for this reason. As humans, we need to have wins, right? We need to have wins in order to keep going. Like, think about any of you who have ever like tried to get fit, right? Let's say you're trying to lose weight. And if you go to the gym and you're there busting your behind, right, for 5 days a week, an hour a day, and in that first, let's say you do that for 2 months and you only lose 3 pounds during that 2 months, you're going to be so unmotivated. Like, why am I putting all this work in? Like, nothing has happened. I've lost 3 pounds in 2 months and I've been working out 5 days a week, right? But let's switch that. And let's say in the first week, you actually lost 3 pounds. If you lost 3 pounds in the first week, you have a small win. Obviously, it's not all that you want to lose, but you have a small win. And that small win keeps you motivated, right? So if you're trudging along with this really high interest and you're trying to pay off a large amount of high interest, it can take you a long time and it's going to feel like you're never making any progress. However, if you have a card that's say like a $200 card, and then you have a $400 card, and then you have a $900 card, but you pay off that $200 card first, you're going to feel like, boom, I paid it off. Like, I'm on to the next, right? So you can actually get 2 or 3 cards paid off before you get to that large amount, right? And so that's why I suggest the snowball method. Yes. Hey, Leo Sage Imagers. Small wins, 100%, right? So we need small wins in order to kind of meet our goals. Like, we are people, we are humans, and we all need like that small amount of instant gratification in order to stay motivated, right? So that's why I suggest the snowball method. D has been debt free since 2020. It is truly freedom. It is like nothing else. Like, just not having the debts. Even if you're not somebody who's behind on your debt, just having the debt and knowing that you owe somebody else, it's a weight that's on you unnecessarily, right? You don't have to. I'm sorry, my nose is like itching. You don't want that, okay? Beverly says she started with the lowest before. Perfect. LaShawn says she was excited when she paid off her house early. Girl, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, honey. Now, LaShawn actually brings up a really good point. When it comes to this debt that we're talking about consumer debt. I'm talking about specifically today, I'm talking about consumer debt. That does not include your house. That's going to generally be a large payment. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay off your house, but that's not what I want you to focus on for this. For this, I want you to focus on your credit cards, if you owe IRS, anything like that, okay? Generally, those are going to be smaller amounts than a house payment. You might get overwhelmed trying to pay off a house payment right now. Once you get your debt paid off and you have your emergency savings in place, then we can talk about paying off your house. LaShawn, kudos to you. I'm super happy for you. My house ain't paid off yet, but it's on its way. But I'm super happy for you. All right. Janelle says, thank you all. It was hard to do, but I see the vision of being debt free. So the sacrifices are worth it. Yes. And this is what I mean. Like, you have to live today like no one else will, so that you can live tomorrow like no one else can. Okay. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're going to be in the same place as everybody else. And 87% of Americans are in debt, massive debt, in over their heads. We don't want that. Yes, Angela says she is going for this freedom of being debt free like D since 2020. I'm here for it, Angela. I'm here for you, right? That's what we want, okay? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to take some time and I want you to look at your debt, like really look at it. You know what, before we get there, let me know, are you somebody who avoids opening your bills? If you are someone who avoids opening your bills, just write the word bills in the comments. Because I feel like I was that person for a while. Like I would just avoid it. Like, I already know it's going to be more than I got. I'm not even going to look at it. Yes, Jennifer, I feel you. Caroline said that was her. Yes. Drea, yes. Okay. But again, you guys are so smart. That's why y'all my rich friends, because rich is a mindset. Wealthy is a mindset, right? It's not even like broke is a mindset too. You will, and speaking of which, this is kind of off topic, but kind of related. You will never hear me say I'm broke, or I've never said I was broke. I will never say my son is my broke best friend, like people like to joke, because broke is a mindset. Okay. And we affirm who we are and who and what we are going to be in the future with our words. The power, your future is in the power of the tongue. Okay. So don't ever call yourself, I don't care if you are somebody who avoids opening the bills. Do not ever call yourself broke. Okay. This is a temporary situation and you're going to get out of it because y'all are going to join the Fix My Money Challenge and we're going to take care of it. Right. This is a temporary situation for you. This is not you. You are not broke. You have a situation in which you need to get out of, and that's it. Oh, Nicole, I hate it too. I hate when people call their kids their broke best friends because they don't even realize what they're affirming for those children. And then their kids start to say it. No. We're not broke. We are in a temporary situation that we're about to fix. And you're here, right? The fact that most people are not looking at any content about money because they just want to avoid it. They are avoiding opening their bills and they're also avoiding talking about money because they don't want to deal with it. But you are here, which is the first step. This is a huge money mindset transformation that you don't even realize you already have. You have already transformed so much because the first hurdle to get over is in your head. So the fact that you're even watching this is huge, right? Most people who don't open their bills and don't answer the phone when bill collectors call, they ain't looking at nothing like this, right? They not. So pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hand clap in the comments and be proud of yourself, okay? Lydia says she's never broke, just financially challenged. And that itself also, Lydia, is temporary for you. Okay? That itself is temporary. All right. So I see a number of people saying bills, right? So that means that you're avoiding opening your bills. So for this, you're going to have to open your bills. Okay. You're going to have to open your bills and you're going to have to get real honest. It's not going to be comfortable. But the beautiful part of it is no one's watching. It's just you, right? And maybe your spouse if you want to involve that person. Okay. So you're going to assess your debt and you're going to do that by opening those bills. And you're going to have the uncomfortable conversation with yourself. And you're going to say, okay, Drea, okay, Paula, okay, Karen, okay, Gwen, right? Here is how much I owe. Here's the balance on this card. And then also, here is the minimum payment. We ain't going to pay the minimum payment though, right? Here's the minimum payment they require. So you got to pay above that for the first card at least. And then we're also going to look and figure out how much we can pay. Now, you can't figure out how much you can actually afford to pay if you don't even know what you're spending your money on. So again, we'll go over all of this and you'll figure it out for yourself in the get my money in the Fix My Money challenge that we're going to have in September. Okay. But as a precursor, the first thing you're going to want to do is get those bills out. Okay. And when I say bills, I mean all of the bills that are consumer debt. So again, your credit cards, if you owe, and I don't mean back up. If you owe, if you have any back bills that are let's say your light bill is past due, we're going to count that as well. Right. But not if you're current on your bills. If you're current on your monthly bills, we're not counting those. But your credit cards, also your back bills like light bill, cell phone bill, Wi-Fi. If you're past due on those, we got to count those because we got to get you up to speed on those. Okay. And then we're going to not account for, we're also going to take into IRS debt. We're not going to account for student loans right now. And we're not going to account for your home. Okay. So just the consumer debt. Yes, thank you, Dr. Nicole. She said, Fix My Money Challenge, September 2024. Yes, make sure that you guys join. If you have not yet registered for the If you have not yet registered for the wait list, you're going to want to make sure that you do that. Want to make sure that you do that. I'm going to put the link here again. It is free to join the wait list, and waitlisters get first dibs on being able to sign up for the challenge. Okay, when I make it in a week and a half or so, it'll go live. Okay. Yes, Janelle, we're also talking about car loans. Yes, for sure. We're talking about car loans. Good question, Janelle. Thank you for asking. So we're talking about car loans as well. Okay. And we're going to look at all that data. And we're not even focused on the interest, even though the interest is probably killing us. We ain't focused on the interest. We're focused on categorizing that from smallest to largest. All right. So if you have a $200 bill and that's your smallest bill, that goes first. If you have a $700 bill and that's the second largest, that goes second. If you have a $10,000 bill and that's the highest, that's going to go last, right? So we're going to categorize them from top to bottom based on the amount that we owe. And then we're going to put a plan into place to start tackling that debt, like with gazelle intensity. We're just going to be running after it, right? That's what Dave Ramsey calls it, gazelle intensity. We're running after it like a gazelle will be running from its predator, right? Those gazelles, they be out. Right. They ain't playing no games. They be looking, they don't ask no questions. They don't pause. They just go. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're going to take that smallest debt, whatever that is. And I'm going to ask you guys in the Get Money group, I'm going to ask you guys, your homework is to let me know in the group what your smallest debt amount is in the group. Okay, if you know right now, let me know in the comments. You can put it in the comments here, but you may need time to go look at it. But I want you to tell me what the smallest amount of debt is that you owe. And that is the amount that you are going to go after first. Now, this is actually going to be a lot easier than you think, because the beauty of paying off the smallest amount first is that you will then, once that's paid off, you will take the amount that you were paying on that and apply that to the next debt. And that's how you create the snowball. Okay. So let's say the minimum payment on everything, let's say you have 3 cards. Okay. And the minimum payment on the second and third cards are $25 a month. Okay. You're going to pay the minimum on those 2 cards until that smallest debt is paid off. So let's say that smallest debt is $200. And let's say you're able to knock that out right away. Okay. So you got $200. Cool. No, let's not do that. Let's say you were able to pay $100 a month and you knock it out over 2 months. Okay. So the first $100 is going to get paid to that first card in month 1. You're still paying the minimums on cards 2 and 3. The second month, you pay the second $100 plus whatever the interest is. Let's say it comes to $25. So let's say it's $225, right? Or $125. Still paying the minimum on those other 2 cards. So y'all following me? Still paying the minimum on those other 2 cards. Once that first card is gone, you were already paying $100 a month, right? Now you may say, well, now I'll just pay $100 on the second card. Yes, but no. You are now going to pay $100 on the second card, but you also were already paying $100 on the first card. So you're going to take that $100 and apply that to your second card. And now you have $200 that you're paying on the second card every month. Are y'all following me? So you're paying $200. And this will make a lot. Well, I'm sure it makes sense now, but it'll even be more, hands-on, one-on-one when we go through the Fix My Money challenge. Okay. The second card, you're paying $200 a month. So now you're paying $200 a month instead of $100. So you're actually able to knock that card out twice as fast as you would have been able to had you only been paying the $100, but you're just simply applying your first 100 to the second one. Okay. Now you end up over time, let's say over 6 months or whatever, you pay off that second card. You were paying $200 a month. Your goal now is to pay $100 on the third card, but you're not paying $100. You pay $200 on the last card. You're applying that $200 to the next card. So now you're paying $300 on this last card, and you're paying it 3 times as fast as you would have if you were only paying off 1 card. Does that make sense? So that's how the snowball occurs. Okay. I see you guys posting your smallest amounts. Y'all must be going to look at it because y'all got specific numbers, right? Drea says 125 is her smallest amount of debt. Drea said 125. Personal TI says 2,000. Janelle says 700. Joyce is 300. Sean is 2,200. Rhonda is 200. Bordy says $5,368.00. Real specific. Sharon says 650. And Libya says 263, and Beverly says $2,859, right? So Great, guys. The first step is to figure out how much you owe. So that's whatever you all posted, that's the debt that you're going to attack first. And whatever you can afford to spend to pay it off is what you're going to pay. Okay? But again, it's kind of hard to say how much you can pay if you don't even know how much you're spending. Most of us are overspending in 2 to 3 categories, and they all start with F's: food, family, and fun. That's usually where the bulk of the unexpected expenses come from. Because when you're buying, your kids in the car and they're hollering and they're hungry and they're starving, and you're like, oh my God, let's just stop at McDonald's. Okay, fine. It's $10. Let's just get a $10 meal, right? $10 at McDonald's or whatever you eat, right? It may not be McDonald's. But the point is, $10 here doesn't seem like a lot. But when you combine that with $10 here and $50 here when your girls want to go for drinks one night, and another $35 here when you have to eat lunch with your team for a team building thing, but they make you pay for it, right? All those little things add up. All those add up. And next thing you know, you spent $500 to $700 a month and didn't even realize it. Happens all the time. Same thing with fun, especially family, especially if you have kids, because them kids, I promise you, the kids, they always need something. They ain't never satisfied. They always need something. And it's always unexpected, right? So you got to spend, kids suddenly, they want to do something with their friends, or there's a camp that you want to sign them up for, or, they done broke their book bag strap and now they need a new book bag for school. Like, who knows, right? It's always something. But those little things add up too. So that's family. And then fun, we tend to think of like big vacations as like, when we calculate things, but little things too. Like my son and I went to the movies, and I love going to the movies with him, but I hate going to the movies with him because I feel like I'm on a date, right? Like, cause I got to pay for it all because he ain't got no money, right? 13, he don't got no job. And of course we can't just get the movie tickets. We got to get popcorn, and we got to get cheese curds, and we got to get a drink. We can't just bring a drink in, it's like $50 by the time we're done. Right. And so if I'm calculating that, twice in a month, that's $100 just in movies with him, not to account for when I go out, with my friends, things like that. Right. So food, family, and fun tend to be where we overspend. Now, if you are able to assess your bills, really what I suggested is that you guys print out your last 3 months of your bank statements or credit card statements or wherever you spend your money, and you categorize them for yourself. You say, this is how much I spend in gas on average a month. This is how much I spend in food on average a month. This is how much I spend in groceries. This is how much I spend on whatever, right? If you do all that, I promise you will find where you are spending money that you could be putting toward that debt. I promise you. And we're actually going to do all of this in the Fix My Money Challenge. Okay. Let me go through some comments. I don't want to miss too many comments or get too far. D says, when I was on my way to debt freedom, I would speak paid for. Oh, she would speak the words paid for as I walked in my house. I set a date I wanted to be debt free. You have to set a goal to reach. It focuses you. Yes. Just walking through the house and saying, this house is paid for. I love it. Yes. Come on, affirmations. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. She even said to God, you are rich, send me the money. And he did from unexpected resources. I was also gazelle intense. Yes, D preaching today. You preaching today, D. She said, I joined my faith with you all for debt freedom. Debt freedom. Yes. Okay. Symphony says, if you have a lump sum, I'm sorry, it's so hot in here. If you have a lump sum, would you still recommend paying off debt if the interest rate is low versus investing? I would suggest that you I wouldn't care about the interest rate, because even if it's low, it's still money that you're spending that you could have, right? So even if the interest rate is 2%, that's 2% that's going to somebody else that you could be spending. Because here's the thing, once your debt is paid off, once your debt's completely gone, you have all the money in the world for investing. Now, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't invest in things like your 401k or your retirement funds. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that while you're paying off debt. But what I'm saying, I'm not going to suggest that you start getting real heavy into buying individual stocks. And I wouldn't even worry about maxing out my retirement yet. Not yet. if you have debt, because I promise you, once the debt is gone, you will have tons of money to max out your 401k that year. Because I think it's 22,000 or 23,000 this year in 2024 that you can pay toward your 401k. If you have a SEP, I believe it's like 69,000, which is basically a self-employed 401k, right? I don't know what the maximum is for a 403b or 403a, but nevertheless, it's a lot of money basically. And if you have, let's say you have $20,000 in debt, right? The average American has $10,000 in debt. So let's say you have a little bit more than average. Then that 20,000 you were paying off the debt for 1 year. If you just spend a year paying that off over a year or 2 years, now you can max out your retirement every single year. You don't have to just pay, a couple hundred, a couple thousand. You can actually max it out because you have the freedom in your money. Does that make sense, Sim? Let me know if that makes sense. Jasmine says $1,485.15 is her lowest. Also, hospital bills will be considered consumer debt too, right? Yes, Jasmine, hospital bills as well. D agrees with me. D says, Symphony, get rid of debt, all of it. A zero balance is guaranteed. Investments are not. Boom. And then you have all your debt-free money to invest. That's exactly what I just said. We on the same page, D. We on the same page, right? LaShawn said, take a big purse of sneak snacks in to the movies. You know what, though? The movie theater here, like the really, really nice movie theater, they be checking the bags. So you can't even do that. You can't even do that here. Every now and then I'll be able to sneak like my water bottle, and I'll be able to lie and say I need it for some reason, but they don't play with the snacks. Not the ones here. But yes, so you need to pay off the debt. And like Dee said, a zero balance is guaranteed. Investments are not, but that doesn't mean we don't want to invest. And remember, this debt payoff thing is temporary, right? This is a temporary situation that we are in that we're getting out of. The investments, the retirement, that is more permanent. But we got to get rid of this temporary issue first. Okay? Got to get rid of the temporary situation first. Okay? What's this say? Oh, I already talked about that. So D says, if you have debt, at the most, match your employer. Here she go. She said, match your employer match as pre-tax, for example, 5%. So you're not leaving money on the table, but focus your energy on debt removal. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Okay. Let me know what other questions you guys have in the comments. But that's what I want you to do. How many of you feel like you can take some time this week to pull all your bill statements? If you can pull all your bill statements, say me in the comments this week. By today's Wednesday that I'm making this video, by Saturday, by the end of the day on Saturday, can you do that? And we can take this one by one because this might be a little bit overwhelming, right? Because you might be like, oh my God, I don't even want to deal with this. First step is just to print them off. Just print them off. All right. That's day one. Don't even look at them on day one. Just print them off. Just print them off, put them on the table or wherever you're going to work on it. Next day or day after that, that's when you start going through it. Maybe the next day. Okay. Day one, you print them off. Okay. Day two, leave them alone. Day two, you're going to, this should be pretty easy. You can look at all the statements and you can see which one's the highest and which one's the lowest. Yes, bill pay party. I love it. Bill pay party. yes, Tim. Right? So you're going to put them, just literally sort them. You're going to print these out, not just look at them on a computer. I want you to print these out and have them in hand. If you don't have a printer, go to FedEx office. Go to Office Max. Print them out. Print them out at your job. Do whatever you got to do. Okay? Sort them from lowest to highest amounts that you owe. Okay? Yes, Patricia. She said, I've been needing to do this for some time. But we avoid it because it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Right? But we're going to do this. Okay? We're going to do this together. That's day two. All you're doing is sorting. You're not thinking about how you're going to pay it off. You're not trying to find the money. You're just sorting. Right? This is to eliminate the overwhelm that can come from this. Okay? And the reason it's meant to be overwhelming, right? It's debt. Debt is heavy. I mean, the Bible talks about how debt is heavy, right? For those of you who are Christians and believers or whatever, right? The Bible talks about this. Debt is very heavy. It also says that, the borrower is slave to the lender, which is true. I completely felt like I was a slave to the lender when I had a massive amount of debt to pay off. And here's the thing. When it comes to debt, a lot of times I think that, and I think it's unfortunate, although I realize it happens, but I think it's unfortunate that when people think of folks having debt, they always assume that they were like living some sort of frivolous lifestyle and that they were just out here buying Louis bags and Louboutin shoes and Jimmy Choos and going on vacations to Italy and that sort of thing. And that's not always the case. Sometimes life has lifed and we had to put something on a credit card because we did not have that emergency savings account, right? Or we maybe made a bad investment that we thought was going to pan off for us and it did not, right? Like, I think there's so much shame and people provide so much shame in like having debt, but not all debt is just because you were, like being irresponsible. Like personally, I know the debt I had, the $147,000 I had to pay off was because I had started another business and that business did not succeed. And when that business didn't succeed, it left me with the debt that I had incurred, thinking that the business would pay off the debt. But I called myself being a good steward of what I had been given by attempting to multiply it in this third business. And that didn't happen, right? So I don't know your personal situation and why you have your debts, but just know that don't feel shame. Don't feel like I'm sorry, my son just came in here. What do you mean? Okay. Thank you. He just gave me a note. Okay. Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. He just made y'all. He just got money. Come here. You want to show everybody? He wants to show y'all. Come on. He just made $20. $30. She paid you 30?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, this is Caden. This is my son.
Oh.
Say hey. Well, not everybody. Say hey.
Hi.
He been outside sweating. He was like, what were you doing? What did you just go do?
What did I do? Cut grass?
Did you cut grass?
I didn't really cut grass. I really snipped it.
You snipped the grass?
I snipped it low.
This is a candy curator. Isn't he huge? He's so much bigger than y'all remember. He's 13 now. He's 6 feet tall, which is crazy. Yeah. So he was helping the neighbor with something, and she was supposed to pay him 20, but apparently she gave him 30. So did you say thank you?
No. I just walked off.
You just walked off. All right, thank you. Bye.
I'm gonna stay here.
No, come on. I'll see you later.
They like me though.
But he has to, when he makes money, he also has to separate it. Like he don't get to just spend $30. He don't get to just spend his money, right? He has to put it. You can put it in the kitchen on the table. Okay. He doesn't get to just spend it, right? He has to also. He don't have no bills, right? But he does have to invest part of it. He has to tithe part of it, or give it away. It doesn't have to be necessarily a tithe to the church, but it could be some sort of give it away into some sort of way. He could, give it to the needy, the homeless, whatever it is, some sort of giving aspect. He has to invest some of it into his stocks. And he has a retirement fund too. And he got to invest all that stuff. And then he has money to spend too. And then he has to save, right? So just like us adults, we got to get our kids ready for this kind of stuff too. I know, 6 feet at 13. I know he's such a giant. Thank you, J. Dale. So appreciate that. Yes, that's what your hair look like when you have naturalicious, baby. And he been outside and it's super hot outside. Like I'm hot in here, but it's super hot outside. So he's been outside in the heat with his hair. So it looks a little bit crazier than it did when he left out. But thank you all for the compliments. But anyway, back to the debt. I forgot where I left off because he came in and interrupted me. Bottom line is that you have to pay off your debt. Okay. Y'all try to help me get back to where I was talking about before he came in. I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about the debt. I was saying you got to pay it off. I was saying I was saying the Bible says that the borrower is slave to the lender. And I felt like I was slave to the lender. And I was telling you, don't feel shame if you have debt for whatever reason, right? Because again, this is a temporary situation that you're in. This is not something that you're going to be dealing with forever. We're going to get you out of this. Okay. By the way, if you have not yet registered for the wait list for the Fix My Money Challenge, you're going to want to get on the wait list. If this has been helpful at all, Think about this with one-on-one personalized instruction over 5 days, plus daily lessons delivered to your inbox, plus a money mindset intensive, plus an actual debt calculator that helps you, that already does the calculations for you. And all you got to do is plug in your numbers and the calculations will be done. Okay. All right. So sign up for the wait list. Okay. So Sandra says, can you please answer my question, as it's very important? Sandra, I don't see your question. Let me scroll up. Let me see if I see it. Oh, okay. She said, I settled with a company for my credit card. I'm now paying them back with no interest. Is that okay? Yes, that is fine, Sandra. That is fine. And in fact, here's what else I want you guys to do. And I'm glad you brought this up. Okay. If you have a credit card and it's already past due, let's say it's already in collections. Okay. I want you to contact that credit card company or whoever has the debt. So maybe the credit card company has charged it off and they sent it to some third party company. Okay. If that has happened, I want don't people be so focused on their credit that they lose sight of the goal. Okay. If your debt has already been charged off, it's already affected your credit. Okay. So people will say, well, don't settle a debt. If it's already charged off, it's already affected the credit. Like it's already, like, what are we protecting? Right. It's already gone. So it's in your best interest, like Sandra did, to contact whoever has that bill. Now, this is not for you whose bills are current. This is for those of you whose bills are overdue and already in collections. Okay. You're going to contact that collector and you're going to do your best to settle the debt for as low as you can. Because why pay a $20,000 bill if you could pay a $10,000 bill? If your credit's already been affected by it, right? Then you might as well pay them the least amount. See if you can settle. I will tell you that this worked for me when I was dealing with that $147,000 I had to pay off, right? I owed $32,000. $32,000 on one company. Okay. That was the bulk of the debt that I had. That was not the bulk, but that was the one that had the highest amount. Okay. $32,000. I contacted that company and they offered to let me pay it for $16,000. That's half, right? So immediately it's cut in half. It had already been charged off. Ain't no point in me worrying about the credit side of it, right? Paid that. Well, they offered $16,000. I said, okay. Fast forward a couple of months, I called them back and I said, if I could pay this in full, would you take 9? Actually, I said, would you take 5? They would not take 5, but they would take 9. So I went from a $32,000 bill to a $9,000 bill. Paid it off, right? This is in your best interest if your bills are already overdue and in collections. This is not the play if you're current, okay? There's nothing to settle if your bills are current. But if you are overdue, I want you to do that. And I don't care if you only owe $2,000. If you could pay them $500 versus $2,000, you might as well pay the $500, okay? Janelle, the cost of the challenge will be only $64. It's only $64. So super duper affordable and definitely undercharging. But I want as many people to be in it as possible so I can help as many people as I can. Okay. So $64. All right. So Sandra, kudos to you for being able to get that debt settled. Okay. Now, let me see. Let me go back to the comments. Okay. Yes. Okay. So day 1, you're going to print the bills. Thank you, Joyce. Day 1, you're going to print the bills. Day 2, you're going to categorize them from smallest to largest, and you're going to leave it alone after that. Okay. Day 3, you're going to look at those bills and you're going to say, I wonder if first of all, only if you have bills that are overdue, then you're going to contact the creditors and you're going to, not the creditors, but the bill collectors, and you're going to see if they are willing to settle. Now, don't call them and be like, hey, can you settle today? Like, you got to come with an offer. Okay. Because they're going to say, well, yeah, we could settle it for like $1,000 less than you owe. Like, no. You're going to settle it for as little as you can. Okay. They might act like they offended. Because I remember when I called about the $32,000 bill and I tried to settle it for $1,000. The lady was like, what? But I was like, let me start as low as possible. Because who cares if she's offended? Who cares? She ain't the one that got to pay it. My mother used to always say, you stand alone. You stand alone. Right? So I'm the one that got to pay that bill. I don't care if she offended. It ain't even her money. She works for the company. She probably get like a salary or hourly rate. So she ain't getting the money no way. I don't care. Right? So I offer some stupid low price. And that's when she came back at $16,000 when she originally was going to come to me with $21,000. Okay. Janelle says, when you call to negotiate and then pay it off, will it improve your credit? No, not necessarily, but it won't necessarily make it worse either. Right? Paying off a card in general is going to improve your credit, but like negotiating it down and then paying it off isn't going to make it better than if you had just pay. It's not going to make it better than if you had just paid it in full. So like if I had paid $32,000 off, I would have had the same bump as if I had paid. Let me start over. If the bill was $32,000 and I paid $32,000, I'm going to have the same increase in credit score as I would if the bill was now reduced to $9,000 and I paid $9,000. So you don't like lose if it's already charged off, right? It got to be charged off. If it's already charged off, it's not going to make a difference. So you might as well negotiate it down and then pay it off. But your credit should increase regardless of how much, as long as it's paid. Does that make sense? So again, it's in your best interest to settle it if you can. Okay. So day 3, you're calling the creditors of bills that you have overdue or charged off, and you're seeing if you can negotiate those prices down. Okay. Once you do that, now you have a clear vision of, okay, here's exactly how much I owe. I thought I owed $10,000, but now I really only owe $7,000, right? Because you negotiated this down. Okay. Day 4 is when you are going to put your plan into place. So now, ideally, if you have the Get Money Budget Planner, you can put it in there. If you download it for free, the calculations are not done for you, which I've given you that link several times. I'll post it here again if you guys want it. It's completely free, but the calculations are not done. If you join the Fix My Money Challenge, it comes with the calculations done for you. Right. So all you got to do is plug in your numbers and you don't have to add, subtract, multiply. You ain't got to do nothing. Right. It pulls from all the different cells and it's done. So yet another reason why you probably want to join the Fix My Money Challenge. Vicky says, can you do the same with timeshare debt? You can. And you know what, Vicky, I actually had a timeshare. I was really young when I bought it and I love to travel. And I called myself, I don't think I've been posting the right link here. I haven't been posting the HTTP. Okay, let me actually post the, I'm sorry. I don't think what I posted before gave you guys a clickable link to sign up for the challenge, sign up for the wait list. Let me do it again. /wait list. Okay. You should be able to click that. Okay. I had a timeshare when I was young. I love to travel. I signed up for this timeshare and I was so excited about it. And then I went to use it, and all the dates that I wanted to use it, it was never available. So I found myself with this timeshare and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get rid of this thing? I'm paying for it. I can't even use it. Luckily, I was able to sell it, but I sold it for $1. I just wanted to get rid of it. This is what I did. I literally posted it on my Facebook page. And I said, I have a timeshare that I am looking to sell to someone. I will sell it to you for $1. All you got to do is take it over. You can have it. We'll transfer everything into your name. And that's how I sold my timeshare. Because, they have these timeshare like sales companies or whatever, and they cost all this money. I just posted it on my Facebook page. And I had somebody who bought it for $1. I wasn't trying to make no profit. I just wanted to get rid of it so I didn't have to pay it anymore. And then once he took it over, we simply called the timeshare company and they transferred the deed from my name into his name. And then that was it. So if you're trying to get rid of a timeshare, consider that. But in terms of debt, if you're paying off the timeshare debt, yes, you can do the same with the timeshare debt as long as it's charged off. Again, it has to be charged off already. It can't be current. That's not to say that you should let your stuff get charged off. I'm not suggesting that. Like, I don't want anybody to misunderstand. Don't try to get it charged off. But if it is already charged off, you might as well just go ahead and negotiate it. Okay. Dr. Nicole says folks better get in on this first round of the Fix My Money Challenge because the price is going up. She said it, not me, but I'm not going to say that she's wrong. But yes, the first round is only $64. So she's right. You definitely want to get in on this first round because the price probably will be more the next time. Okay. All right. Let's see. Did I miss any more questions? Want to make sure I get everybody. Okay. I think I got everything. If I missed your question, please leave it again. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, I want to make sure I don't miss you. Okay. So that's what you're going to do. That's going to be your game plan, is to assess all of that. So you can get the free Get Money Budget Planner. It has everything that you need. You just have to do the work, right? If money makes you overwhelmed and you're just like, I don't want to assess all this, I'd rather just have it where the calculation's already done for me. All I got to do is plug stuff in and then like it kind of tells me what I need to do. Then you will get that when you join the Fix My Money Challenge, which again is only $64 and it's going to be September 9th through the 12th. Jackie says, when will we know we were selected for the first round? So Jackie, how it's going to work is that right now you guys are signing up for the wait list, right? So the wait list, you just put your name on the list. Everybody who's on the wait list will get an email at the same time when the page is ready for you guys to sign up. Okay. When that time comes, you guys have first dibs. So as long as you sign up, that's when you're going to be in. Okay. Now, if you're not on the wait list, then you got to wait, because if it gets full from the wait list, then I can't take anybody else. I can only take so many people. Like if I got to help people one-on-one. Anybody here who was in the Naturalicious Repair Your Hair Challenge, you know, like my challenge is like, it's real hands-on, it's real interactive, it's one-on-one, right? So nobody gets left behind. We're going to be on as long as we need to be. Okay. And so for that reason, I can't have hundreds of people in there because I just can't, right? I can only do so much math in a day. Okay. So as long as you sign up and you're on the, if you're on the actual wait list and you sign up, now again, it's also first come, first serve, right? So even though you're on the wait list, everybody on the wait list is getting it at the same time. There's already 300 people on the wait list, over 300 people on the wait list. And I just posted it less than a week ago. Okay. So just imagine, but I can't take 300 people at one time. I don't think I can do that. Okay. So yes. So make sure that you sign up as soon as you see that list. I will send out an email. I'll send out a text, and I'll post it in the Get Money crew on Facebook. And everyone who is on the wait list will get in first, or have the opportunity to get in first. Okay. Now, if you wait, if you think long, you might think wrong, and then you might be in, you might get shut out. I don't know. All right. But I will give everyone on the wait list first dibs. Okay. So as long as you sign up and you pay for it, $64, you'll be straight. Okay. Yeah, Sim says she ain't lying. No, I'm not lying. Like my challenges are very hands-on. Like I always say, no claymate left behind. This is no rich friend left behind. Like everybody's gonna walk away with a customized money map that gives them a full customized plan on one, getting out of debt once and for all, like an actual plan. You can see it. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of you probably feel like you don't see the light. Hey, Kayla's over here on Instagram. We're talking about getting out of debt, girl. Excuse me. How to get out of debt once and for all, an actual light at the end of the tunnel, so you can actually for real figure this out. 2, assessing your finances, finding extra money that you don't even realize that you have, creating a plan for you to actually retire a millionaire. All of that for $64, right? So, and there's a ton more. You get we have a mindset intensive that's going to happen. You get a customized Zoom background. What's worth the $64 alone is that budget planner with all the calculations done for you. Like if nothing else, that alone is worth it. But you get me for 5 days. You get a money mindset coach for another day. You get the debt calculator. You get the the Zoom background. What else do you get? I'm missing something. There's 5 things. I forgot the 5th thing. But all of that stuff, you get all of that. And it's only $64. Like $64 to change the rest of your life. $64 to change the rest of, like, we spend $64 on dumb stuff, right? Tell me what you spend $64 on. Let me know. What could you spend $64 on? Or even better, just let me know if you feel like you could easily spend $64 and waste it on something that doesn't help you. Just say $64 if you feel like you would do that. Because I feel like I could do that in a heartbeat. Food. Bordy says she could spend it on food. For sure. For sure. Takeout, says Jackie. Yes. Coffee, says Drea. Oh, Drea, you must be a big coffee head. What's funny is I don't even like coffee, but I like coffee flavored things. So I like coffee ice cream. I like frappuccinos, but I don't like actual coffee. Food, says Karen. Yes. You can spend that on anything, So $64 to change the rest of your life. It's a no-brainer. Okay. And I think, Sandra, I missed your question, but you said, will there be replays for the challenge? Yes, there will be replays for everyone who is in the challenge. So if you are unable to make it to the live, I get it. People have lives, they have families, they have jobs, they have careers. Yes, the replay will be available to you and they will be sent out generally the same night, but within 24 hours, you will have your replays. Everybody will get it, whether you were on or not. Okay. You'll get it. Okay. All right. Caroline says $64 is low enough for me to do and gift to a friend that doesn't have it. I love it. Sharing is caring, Caroline. I love it. Let's see. I feel like I missed another question. Symphony asked a question about entrepreneurship. Okay. Would you advise differently for entrepreneurs, single member LLCs in the early stages of their business? Symph, I need a little bit more detail. About that. Like, do you mean, would I advise differently to pay off the debt? Or do you mean, would I advise not getting into debt to begin with? Question. Let me know in the comments what you mean by that so I can answer it intelligently. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? Does using Digit count as a way to automate savings? What is Digit? Let me look that up. I feel like I've heard of this. Digit money. What is Digit, Joyce? Let me know. I personally don't use it, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I need to know what it is. So let me know. So Symphony, let me know what you mean. And also Joyce, let me know what Digit is and I can answer your questions. Okay. All right. So any more questions, please ask them. All right. So let's go back to days 1 through 4, what you're going to do. Okay. So day one, you are going to print. This is today. Okay. We're going to print off all of our bills, credit card bills, car loans, timeshare debt, IRS bills, back or past due living bills, like light bill, anything that's past due that you have to keep up with. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to categorize them on day 2 from smallest to largest. And then not doing anything else. So I hope y'all are writing this down. Okay. Day 2, we're just going to categorize them, go back and live our life. Day 3, if you have bills that have been charged off, you are now going to contact those collectors and you're going to negotiate a lower payment. Now, if you have a large debt or whatever the debt is, you're going to offer as low as you can. You're going to say, hey, I know I owe $5,000, but would you take one? Would you take 1,000? They may say yes. Like literally a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And we don't know what we don't know. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about how, first of all, God is favorable. You don't know what he's going to bless you with. But I will tell you something that happened to me today. And this isn't even for like a back do anything. But I had someone that I was working with providing a service for me and my company for A while, but they hadn't invoiced me. And so after so long of this, I'm like, I need you to send me an invoice because I don't want to end up with some crazy dumb bill when you realize that you haven't invoiced me. So I asked for a meeting and they said, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a proposal to give to you for, how much you owe us, and we will just go from there." And I was like, let's not do that. Before you create this proposal, let's get on a Zoom call and let's make sure we're on the same page. Because I'm also not trying to overpay, right? But I do want to pay them what I owe them, right? Because why haven't you invoiced me? Like companies, some companies, they don't be looking at their money either, right? So we get on a Zoom call today. This just happened today. We get on a Zoom call. I'm expecting them to come back with like somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 that they're going to say, "Hey, this is how much, is owed or whatever. And, we'll just pay, I have to pay that bill." Instead, what they said, now, mind you, they have been doing this work for a long time. And I just realized one day, like, they ain't invoiced me. They said on their own proactively, I did not ask for this. They said, we're just going to go ahead and just clear out the first several months to close to a year of this stuff. And we'll just eat that. It's fine. So, we'll just charge you a monthly fee moving forward, and we'll make sure that we send you a bill for it. But for what is past due, we're just going to go ahead and charge you $1,500 for it. Does that work for you? I'm expecting to pay between $5,000 and $10,000. They done offered me $1,500. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take it. Absolutely. Right? So don't limit God, right? You don't know what favor you're going to get. So please do not feel like offering a very low amount is like frowned upon. Yes, Joyce, God's favor for sure. Like immediately I was like, this God. That like there's nothing else I can't even attribute it to nothing else. Right? For sure. So when you call your debt collectors, you're going to offer as low as you can within reason. Like you're not going to offer $2, right? But you're going to offer something that's, fairly reasonable. You owe $5,000, offer $1,000. They may come back and say, "You know what? We could do $2,500." But had you not asked, you would still be paying that $5,000. Okay? So that's day 3, and that's only if you have charge off bills. So if you don't have that situation, you can skip day 3. You can take a rest day. Day 4, now we're putting a plan into place to actually pay off those bills in the order we have categorized them from smallest to largest. Okay? Now, if you're a part of the repair your hair challenge, if you're a part of the Fix My Money challenge, we will do this together and we will do it live. Okay? But if you want to do it on your own, be my guest. This is the play, and you're gonna do it over 4 days. When we do it together, we're gonna do it all in one day. We're not gonna call the creditors, but we're gonna do it all, and by the next day, you're gonna have your plan in place. Okay. Latrika says Digit automatically saves for you when you link a bank account. So I want to say yes to. I think that was Joyce that asked about Digit. Yeah, she said Digit automatically pulls money from your account for categories that you designate like a rainy day fund. I'm gonna say yes, it's probably fine. Although I do need to look at Digit because a lot of these companies they like to charge fees and stuff like that. I don't like fees. So I can't say yes for sure, but the concept of it sounds like a good option. But I need to actually take a look at it, which I will do, and I'll post in the Get Money crew on Facebook when I'm, after I take a look at it and let you know what I think of it for sure. But it sounds like a good option. Okay, so Symphony says, for example, she's asking about her question about entrepreneurship. Would one save an emergency reserve fund for business before paying off another debt? In the business stage, where revenue and my income are one and the same. Okay, so if you're talking about, are you talking about business debt or are you talking about personal debt? Because regardless of your business type, legally you're supposed, right? Like legally you're supposed to put yourself on payroll and unfortunately pay payroll taxes, right? It don't gotta be a whole lot, but you're supposed to put yourself on salary. So the best way for you to separate your personal debt from your business revenue is to pay yourself and to keep it as clean as possible And so things don't get mixed up, especially when it comes to tax time. Because when it comes to tax time, if you're constantly taking draws out of your account, that means basically just taking money from your business account and using it for your own personal finances, then it gets categorized as a loan from the business to you. And it gets all convoluted and funky during tax time. Best thing for you to do is to take a salary. You could pay yourself $10,000 a year. Like it could be something really small, even like you pay $5,000. It's just something, right? And then whatever you're paying yourself, use that money to pay off the debts rather than use the business money to pay off personal debt. Now, if this is business debt, then you can pay it from the business account. But if it's a personal debt and you're using your business money, let's say your business is your job. Like for me, like my business is my job. I don't have a 9 to 5, right? So I have to pay myself a salary. And then the salary I pay myself is not the revenue that the business brings in, of course, right? I can't pay myself everything that the business makes because I got other people to pay. I got rent at our building to pay. I got, whatever. So I pay myself a salary. And then that salary is used to pay off personal debt. Let me know if that answers your question. D has a hack. She said, if you have a Panda Express, a lot of people don't know that they have what's called a family feast. It gives you a week's worth of food for $35 and already packaged for meal prep. What? D coming through with the hacks. Did y'all know about that? Did y'all know about Panda Express and this $35 family feast? We just got a Panda Express near me, and my son loves Panda Express. He always want to go to Panda Express. $35 for a week's worth of food? That's a steal. So if we're trying to cut costs, that's dinner for a week, or at least lunch for a week for $35. You spend that in a day for lunch. That's incredible. Thank you, D, for that. That was amazing. Thank you. That was awesome. Lydia says, I'm so glad I'm not behind on my credit card payment. I only have 2 and I don't want any more. Can't wait to pay them off. Child, tell me about it. That that'll get you. It literally sucks my soul. And you know what? I can't even deal with like seeing a balance on my credit card now. It's like it took so much to pay it off. Like I can't. Give me like the heebie-jeebies just seeing a balance. I'm like, pay this off right now. D says, believe for your supernatural debt freedom. Yes, honey. Yes. Okay. Not yet able to salary, says Synth. So you're not able to pay yourself a reasonable rate for your salary. I get it, because what the government considers a reasonable rate may be a lot, right? Depending on what your revenue is. But like even if your business brought in $1,000 a month, right, which is pretty low, if that's how much it brought in, like I would still pay myself. I would just to make my life easier, I would still pay myself something from that. So let's say you don't have a lot of expenses with let's say you have a home business and you're a service provider. I don't know what you do, Sim, but let's say you're a service provider and you pay yourself. I'm sorry, you don't have people to pay. You don't have rent at an office to pay, right? You are just doing the work and you're the only like employee. Then if you bring in only $1,000 a month, you can afford to pay yourself. And let's say you're only using that money. I'm not saying that you got to live off of that, but I'm talking about just for debt. Let's say you pay yourself whatever your debt amount that you're paying is. So let's say you can afford to pay yourself $300 a month from that 1,000. Then that 300 to pay off debt is now separated from the business debt. Because I'm telling you, or from the business revenue, because I'm telling you, if you don't do that, one, the IRS may audit you and it could be an issue, right? So that's a huge thing. Beyond that, it becomes, I don't know if this is your first year of business or second year, how long you've been doing this, but however long, it becomes a loan to you. And now you personally have to pay that back. Even if you close your business, you still have to pay that back because the IRS will see it as a loan that you now owe. So now you're back in debt to yourself, basically. Like I would not do that. Okay. D says the older the debt, the more leverage you have to negotiate. Because many collection agencies buy these debts for pennies, they become more and more willing to accept your offer. If not, hang up. Yes. She's right. She's right. Hang up and negotiate. It's a game changer. Yes, it is. Okay, Lisa says Digit charges $5 per month. Their new name is Opportune. Oh, okay. Okay. Sim, you're a therapist for Black women. Okay, great. So you are, I'm assuming, the only employee of your company. You're a therapist, and whatever you're bringing in, therapists, y'all be making good money. So you may be bringing in more than $1,000 a month, right? But you pay yourself a salary. It doesn't have to be everything you're supposed to live off of, but whatever you're dedicating to this gazelle intensity debt payoff, you're going to want to use that. Okay. But pay it to yourself as a salary. Somebody on Instagram, the mortgage eliminator, says if she files bankruptcy under the business, she doesn't have to pay that back, but it has to be listed under the business. Yeah, we hoping she don't got filed bankruptcy. She's not there. So he said there's also a text right. Oh, I think he's saying there's a write-off for your business. Yes, it is a write-off for your business. Symph, right. And then hold on. Oh. They're saying that the Panda Express $35 family feast thing is a tax write-off if you have a business. Yes, that's true as well. That's true. Right? Okay. D has another hack. She said that the Panda Express thing, it comes in a huge box shaped like a pagoda, 3 huge boxes of entrees plus 2 boxes as sides. I always choose teriyaki chicken as one entree because you can make other meals. D, that's worth its weight in gold. Thank you so much for that. All right. That was amazing. Okay. Y'all make sure if y'all have Panda Express and you're looking to save some money, Panda Express has they have some healthy options too. So even if you're like, I don't do fast food, I know at Panda Express, I'll do the teriyaki chicken and the super greens because those are both healthier, right? The greens are just like cabbage and kale and stuff like that. And the season really, really good. And I really love it. And then the teriyaki chicken is a lot less in calories than the other stuff. So you can even eat healthy on this $35 a week meal that D is talking about. I'm gonna go check that out this weekend. I'm gonna see if they have it here for sure. Thank you for that. All right, you guys. So that is it for the Get Money Show today. I am going to drop the link one more time for you to sign up for the Fix My Money Challenge. That is www.gwenjameer.com/wait list. Okay. And I posted the link here again. Make sure you get your name on that list. Again, I told you there's over 300 people on the list. I can't take everybody. Can't take all 300. I think somebody asked, maybe Sandra earlier, how many people can I take? I don't quite know yet, but I know it ain't 300. It's probably going to be 50. Honestly, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be a huge amount. So most of those people who are on that list will not even be able to get in because, again, I am going to be personally helping you one-on-one, and I can't give 300 or 400 people one-on-one attention. Okay. So when you get the link to sign up, it is only $64. Okay. When you get the link, you're going to want to make sure that you sign up, stop what you're doing, go get it, because it's going to probably sell out very quickly. Okay. The challenge will take place September 9th through the 12th. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. All right. So thank you all for joining today. I hope this has been really, really helpful and beneficial for you guys to get yourselves out of debt. Again, if you are someone who does not have that $1,000 saved, that's your first order of business. Your first order of business is to save that $100 a week. I keep saying a week, that $100 a month or that $200 a month. And once you've done that, between 5 and 10 months, it'll take you, depending on how much you're saving, then you're going to do exactly what I just talked about. But until then, you're just paying the minimums on your credit card or your bills so that they stay current. Okay. Your first goal is to save that $1,000. Pay your minimums. Once that $1,000 is saved, now we're putting the debt payoff plan into place. Okay. Now that debt payoff plan is into place, now we can get that snowball going. And if you run it like I told you to run it, you will be out of debt way before you ever thought that you would be. Like I told you, I paid off $147,000 in 8 months and didn't even realize that that's how much it had been and how quickly I had done it. Because it was a snowball. It was just rolling because I was adding the amount I was paying from the previous bill to the next bill. And then those 2 bills is going to the third bill. And those 3 bills is going to the fourth bill. And you create a snowball and you're out of debt in no time. Okay. Once that's done, now we got play money. Now we got a little bit of FU money on our hands, right? Because then we can start fully funding our emergency savings account. And then once that's done, we maxing out our retirement. We in the money. We in the money. Once that's done, you on your way to being a seven figure millionaire. But you can't be a 7-figure net worth person if you got all this debt. All right. So you guys are so welcome. Thank you again for joining. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for your attention and your time. You could have been doing literally anything else today, but you chose to spend an hour and a half with me. So I'm grateful for you. Have a wonderful day. Join the Get Money Crew on Facebook if you have not already. Just go to Facebook and search for Get Money Crew. You'll find it. And so, that's it. And join the wait list. All right. Talk to you later. Have an awesome day. You're welcome, George. You're welcome, Drea. Have a good day. Bye, guys.